see the vehicle in its current state was a shock. It's going to be one heck of a project to source all the parts that are required. Finding the additional items underneath was fearful, but I have really good faith in our team and Megan in order to source all the parts that we need. So underneath the car, we managed to discover some rot behind the quarter panels, the rockers themselves, the hood, even a fender. So there's unexpected surprises, which at the end of the day is kind of to be expected, but we have to get it all fixed. It has to be done right, and we're giving this to the best body shop that can do the job.
We stripped it 100% down to metal, like so that there was no paint on it at all. But once you do that, you want to put epoxy on it within an hour. Yeah. So we chemically stripped, we mechanically sanded, and we took every single bit of paint off of there, and then we've put an epoxy on it, and then we'll do any other work we do over top of that epoxy, because that's kind of the way they're made.
The hardest part is definitely sourcing parts. Also, the general body repair is very difficult. There's no real manuals out there. Specifications are hard to come by. The tolerances are not produced like they are in modern day vehicles, so it's definitely a challenge in both the parts aspect and the body shop aspect.
That's going to be a big thing if it's available. And it looks like you're going to have to cut it too to get it in, right? Cut it, then. There's no connector, so it's probably going to be like a...
We'll be able to pull all those wires
through. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Through by putting something in there.
Okay, it's not... Okay.
There's no way you could reuse it.
It's done.
I'm sure.
Someone welded up something there. It doesn't appear that there was rust, but this is the way it came with that patch. So
Oh, wow.
we sandblasted all around it and we cleaned it all, and rather than starting to cut more into the fender, you either work with this or get a new fender. But
What do you think? What's your
I
opinion?
don't know, how much is a fender?
I could look into it.
I guess look into a fender if it's...
Okay. For the centerpiece here, I found a new place, like a piece for here, a piece that went across.
I
only
give
thing I
Megan a lot of freedom along with Joel to replace whatever is required to complete this project, to complete it right, in order to make sure that this is the best car that we can produce.
New glass, gasket for the front window,
My name's Megan, and I work in the parts department here at Porsche Center Winnipeg. So I'm responsible for finding the parts that we're going to be using to refinish this car. So the goal is to get as many Porsche classic parts as we possibly can on this vehicle. And if we can't find the classic parts, there are aftermarket outlets that we will be utilizing. But the goal is to get as many Porsche parts on this car that we can find and get here in time to get this completed. Seeing it torn apart was actually kind of scary at first, because you realize all the parts that do need to be replaced and the inside damage that you couldn't see when the trim was on, and with the paint and all the stuff. Once you start sanding the paint down, all the damage that was just hidden. And then during the body shop adventure, we noticed that the fender in the front was pitted, the hood was pitted. So there have been some surprise body pieces that we've needed to bring in.
Oh, those holes, yeah.
And then if you fixed it, it would probably cause failure later.
Yeah.
It's pitted, but it's coming from the underside. So wherever the braces are, you can see it's popping through there. So even if we fixed this, and this, you can see a tiny one right there.
It's going to happen.
It's going to happen there.
Yeah. So some big takeaways: look at new passenger side fender.
Yeah.
This gasket, this glass,
This gasket, this glass.
front gasket, front glass, moldings, trim, hood.
The next stage here is to have all the parts readily available for the body shop. And at this time, I believe they're going to start to repair the remaining amounts of rust and corrosion that are on the vehicle and begin the reassembly process. We are hoping to have this vehicle back here within the next month. If that timeline meets, we'll be good to have this vehicle completed for end of August.
I just I want to see it back to where it was. Like, the interior obviously needs a lot of work, but we have plans for the inside to make it look amazing. But just to see the car back to where it could have been in its prime and back to its former glory, it's going to be super exciting to just see it all put back together. And I don't know if I'll ever see the car again, but it'll be cool to say that I was part of the rehashing of making it what it is now and what it was in its past.